We are live, and it's just another manic Monday. Well, actually, today is Monday Mindfulness.
Keep my wife's name.
We will be back, and we will be talking about how do you handle yourself in public. We'll be right back in a moment.
Good morning. My name is Brian McNeill.
And I am Lisa Santiago McNeill.
And thank you for joining us on our show, Let's Talk About It. We come to each Monday through Friday right here on the SIBN network, on iHeartRadio, YouTube, TuneIn, as well as Facebook Live. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Like. We are here. We are here back live with you. And the question of the day is, how do you handle yourself in public? Now,
or how do you handle public conflict?
Now, the impetus of this particular topic is obviously because the Twitter is a tweeting, and the Instagram is a gramming, and YouTube is
a Facebooking is a Facebooking.
Oh, Jesus, everything about last night. If you have not been under a rock, then you know already that there was an altercation that was publicly captured for posterity
live at the Oscars
on last night.
Live at the Oscars.
Some situations and scenarios.
Yeah, there was going to be some consequences and repercussions.
Good gracious. So we are going to talk about it. We're going to be talking about not just about the incident, but what if you were in either one of the individuals' positions? How would you have managed it differently? Would you have managed it differently? Do you at least understand how it was managed?
What are your thoughts on last night?
What were your thoughts about last night? So, first of all, about last night, what is it? And we're going to have to recap this several times.
You did a commercial?
Yes, we did. We're going to have to recap it a couple of times. Miss Phyllis said, I haven't seen it, but I heard about it. I would replay it for you, but my goodness.
Miss Phyllis
I think that everybody's seen it already.
You're going to see it. It ain't going to be able to help you not seeing it. But it was so great. Chris Rock was one of the hosts of the Oscars.
He was not a host. He was actually an award
presenter.
He
was about to present an award, okay?
He had been a host in 2016.
Yes, he was. The first one.
Yes.
And then Kevin Hart would have been the second one, but you know about that joke.
Anyway.
It's been very public that Jada Pinkett Smith has something going on with her hair. It was alopecia.
You say it's been public, but I submit to you that I still believe that there are certain people in certain scenarios that would not know that. Maybe they don't follow her, or the types of people, types of people who talk about it. Maybe they've never watched the Red Table Talk, because she did talk about it on her Red Table Talk, the struggles that she's having with alopecia. And alopecia is a hair loss disorder. There are different kinds of alopecia. Some alopecia is traction related, meaning that you're wearing weaves, wigs, or braids too tight. Some is stress related. Alopecia can be caused by stress. And, hair loss in general can be a difficult subject for many women and some men, I might add.
All right. So now that we understand a little bit about alopecia, Chris Rock, as a presenter last night at the Oscars, live at the Oscars,
made a joke about her alopecia.
You made a joke about her haircut.
About her haircut, which
Jada
actually
Smith had
was
cut her hair
very
low.
beautiful. And I'm going to cut my hair like that by tomorrow.
Oh, really? You gonna do that?
I have done it before.
And if I call you G.I. Jane, are you going to lose it?
No, I've done it before.
But anyway,
he could have called her G.I. Jane, and she could have, if she had the presence of mind, taken that as an opportunity.
Yes, but he made a joke. He goes, G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. Mm-hmm. That was his joke. And at first, Will Smith laughed. And then he looked over and saw the hurt and anguish on Jada Smith.
I don't know that it was hurt and anguish. I think it was more like Baltimore pissed off.
Okay.
Like, here you go.
Yeah, like that. She rolled her eyes and all that. So then Will Smith.
Like funny, not funny.
Yeah.
And then Will Smith thought to himself, oh, shit, I better do something.
I got to go go home.
I gotta go do something because I don't want to go and talk about what you made me make a copy out the fax machine. So I better go do something.
So Will Smith walks up the stairs. He walks up the stairs, walks up to Chris Rock, and does a jab smack. Okay, he didn't come all the way back with it. He just came with a jab smack. And they super slow moted this morning. Had boxing analysts
that it really didn't connect like it seemed to have connected.
Well, it only got the fingers. The palm of his hand never got to Chris's face.
Yeah,
only the fingers caught Chris. So he didn't really connect, right? But anyway,
Chris didn't stumble. He didn't fall.
He turned his head away,
and
which
said,
is a natural
"Oh
reaction.
shit!"
Will Smith just slapped the shit out of me.
Right. Will Smith just slapped the bleep out of me. Right. So, Miss Phyllis says, I don't think that should have happened during the first. Oh, that should have happened. The first thing they will say is black on black. I don't think they did it to white people when some things that are said. Look what happened to Judge Jackson. I think that's true. And I think that's another spin that's going to come on. Because I definitely thought about it this morning. Like
Amy Schumer had joked about a haircut before earlier that night. And the joke is, I mean, the scuttlebutt is like, what if Ricky Gervais, who's a habitual line stepper, had made those? Ricky Gervais is a white comedian who habitually steps over the lines. Plus, I made the comment this morning, why is she exempt from being joked about?
Right.
Everybody in the room can get it. Anybody in the room can get it. Why is she exempt from being joked about?
Exactly. So the question, obviously, that we're talking about is, do you have any opinions about that? But how do you?
Yes. We all, as in work environments, sometimes feel disrespected. What if you're in a corporate event or corporate conference and someone says something disrespectful to you?
How do you handle in public?
Yeah, Phyllis said, I know about it. There was a classic bit that was done on the Dave Chappelle show called When Keeping It Real Goes Wrong. When Keeping It Real Goes Wrong. And it does the skit about this young black man who graduated college at the top of his class and gets a great job in a corporation, and he's the only black person in the VP circle. Mm-hmm. And he had rid up through the company, and he had just made a success. And he's in a conference room with all these white people there, and one of them said to him, Terrence, my man, good job. Give me a high five. Okay. Now, he could have just overlooked that slight. Okay. But he didn't. He chose to keep it real.
Right.
Get your hand out of my face, Frank. Frank had been his mentor. They went ahead and done that. Get your hand up, shake my hand like a man. And then he started going crazy and Wu-Tang and all that stuff. He lost his job, ended up working in a gas station washing windows. Okay. That's when keeping it real goes wrong.
Was there any reason for that level of response from Will Smith? Some people, I've heard it both. I've heard both
too. Good morning, Miss Melissa Price. Did you see it last night at the Oscars? If you didn't see it last night, you probably saw the replay.
You saw something.
Will Smith smacked Chris Rock. And how do you handle yourself with public disrespect or even just public conflict? Okay, public conflict.
Would you go to this extreme? I really personally think that Will went to an extreme, and I think that to a certain extent he was saving face.
With who?
With Jada, because he ain't got no face to save with nobody else after her entanglement. He can forget about his face.
Last summer, the word entanglement in August
took upon a whole new meaning. I saw a joke today that said Chris Rock gonna feel that slap until August.
Oh, see, that's the other problem. Today, Will Smith is gonna be a meme. Okay, he's gonna be joked about even more.
Good morning, Craig. So today we're doing something a little bit different. We're actually talking about some current events. We're letting it get a little bit messy. We're gonna go ahead and allow it to have a little bit of messy discussion. You can voice your opinions, be respectful. If we say anything that is out of character, please share what you think might be wrong and give us an opportunity to readdress it.
Trivoli, did you see what happened with Will Smith and Chris Rock? Julie Trey Hammondtree, how would you handle? She says, good morning to my people. Trively says good morning. Craig Sapp says good morning, everyone. Let's have a blessed day on purpose.
Amen.
But did you see it? How would you handle if someone disrespected you in public? Stephanie Morris, good morning to you as well.
Good morning, Stephanie. Good morning again, Melissa. Good morning, Miss Phyllis. Dr. Deborah. Hey.
We have a new song to debut today if he shows up. Doug Utsi, my childhood friend, has been on the show, and I kept telling him he deserves a song. He recommended Al Green for us to find his song, and yesterday it hit me. I found his jam.
Julie Ray says, my daughter said immediately, oh, he just embarrassed his wife. That's an interesting take. So you believe that his response was an additional embarrassment rather than a response to the affront to his wife.
What would you do, baby, if someone made a joke about your hair?
I would have been laughing.
And you saw your husband get up from his chair and go and smack that man for joking about your hair. How would you feel? I know my wife, y'all. She'd be like, Brian, sit your butt down. She would have been embarrassed if I stood up and went towards the person. She'd be like, Brian, sit
down. Stephanie says, I think it was in bad taste on both men. I still don't see how it was in bad taste for Chris Rock. Quite honestly, I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt that he did not know about her alopecia. I can't imagine Chris Rock watching Table Talk where she disclosed it and all of that stuff. I honestly believe that his joke was actually only in poor taste for the people who knew about the alopecia. Otherwise, it could actually have been a compliment that you are rocking this haircut, representing a strong Black woman who can handle herself, was the way that I interpret it from the perspective of someone that does not know about your alopecia.
That's right. That was a great point. Actually, if he's just looking at the haircut and I don't know about it.
It looked good.
Yeah.
And she looked strong.
That's right.
And he made a positive comment using a positive reference. G.I. Jane wasn't no punk.
Oh, man, there's so much. Craig said that beat's been going on for a minute. I think Will just had enough about people talking about him, and then they just announced her situation. But Will was laughing before the smack.
Exactly. He was laughing before the smack, and he defended his wife, not because he was offended, but because he did not want to be seen as someone who wouldn't defend her.
Which is wussy. Trively says too much. Craig said, hey, Lisa, when they went home and had sex after that, likely they did. Likely they did. But then Julie Ray comes right back and said, she smacked Will when they got home.
Just kidding. Just kidding. I think it exacerbated the situation.
And Chris Phyllis says, I don't think it was Chris Rock's fault. Why can't she be joked about?
That's right. Why?
I've said it 3 times this morning already, not on the show, but in my Facebook feed. Oprah Winfrey says, until you can handle being talked about, you're not ready for success.
Absolutely. So Stephanie says, sometimes you must realize that there are sensitive areas that people should not joke about. Well, here's the thing. What if he did not know that that was a sensitive area? He did not make a disrespectful joke. He did not diss her in the joke. He did not say anything about anything negative about the haircut, about Jada. He actually said what could be constituted as a compliment, except by someone who knew that the root cause was alopecia.
He says,
because it wasn't to the ball, to the skin. Right. It was a haircut. So it wasn't even a cancer-like haircut.
It didn't look like cancer to me.
It did not look like cancer. It did not look like alopecia for that matter. It looked like a choice for a haircut. It honestly looked like G.I. Jane's haircut in a remix.
That's right. Julie Ray Hamilton says, edgy jokes have been a part of awards programs forever.
Exactly.
Celebrity roast.
Exactly.
Go back, way back. Miss Phyllis says, he saw the look on her face. Like Lisa
Doug
just
is
said.
Here. He's gonna get his song.
Doug, I just announced it, man. We got your new greeting jam today, Doug. We don't do it until about 9:40 if you got to run. But 9:40, I'm going to debut your new greeting jam.
Dr. Deborah says, I don't believe Chris Rock knew Will was doing too much. Absolutely.
Doug Jutsi, how would you handle that? I know you heard.
Stephanie said, women and their hair weight are sensitive.
Yes, they're sensitive, but you can be joked
about. But that doesn't
about.
mean it's off limits.
We're talking about what happened last night, but not just that.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm gonna go way back, right? Okay. I'm gonna go way back with weight jokes.
Okay.
For Star Jones.
Star Jones.
Oh my God. Oprah Winfrey, Star Jones. And women in their hair, again, there has been some very, very interesting hairstyles by choice that women make, whether it's shaving your head, whether it's adding hair. Now we got the hairstyles where they're adding ornaments and adding hair on after the ornament, which I think is interesting. But the thing is, if you are going to choose it, and then first of all, let me even further go back to another point. If you are the queen of Red Table Talk and you are talking about your entanglements, you cannot get in your feelings because somebody make a joke about you.
That's right. You put the show out there.
You put a whole show out there about all of your personal, private business.
It don't get no more personal than that. That was the most personal it could get. And then Will had to hear her say that with a camera in his face until I got into that entanglement with August.
Right.
Entanglement. That's what you calling it? Oh.
Good morning, Ms. Jacqueline.
Miss Phyllis says, bigger levels, bigger devils. As they say, who knew how long they've been going on with them? She was bald at one time.
Exactly.
Doug UC said, I thought it was staged at first.
I did too. Quite honestly, when I saw the first keep my wife's name out your mouth. When I saw Will say it the first time, I saw, and it may have just been my interpretation, but I saw him trying to keep a straight face is what it looked like to me. Like I'm trying to be in character right here. I want to bust out laughing, but I'm trying to be in character here.
I got Will Smith's book called Will. Okay, I'm like a third of the way through the book. And Will Smith was never a fighter growing up. His brother and his sister, they were fighters. He wasn't. In the schoolyard, they protected him. He didn't grow up as a fighter. He ain't no thug.
And then also the fact that you say now that the slap never connected, that it was just fingers and not the whole hand.
Yeah, the palm didn't hit him.
Right.
Just the fingers.
It makes me to further think that it was staged or that it could have been
Well, he
staged.
tried to hit him, but Chris Rock turned his face. I mean, that's response. If someone's coming at you like this, you don't turn to it. You typically, your natural response is to defend. Okay.
But Chris Rock did not look like he was defending. He had his hands down by his side.
He probably couldn't believe live at the Oscars.
He knew that he was coming. He called him King. He called him Richard. Richard, like playing into the what I thought was a setup.
Okay.
I thought it was a setup. But then I saw some commentary that the Oscars are anti-violence and all these things, so they never would have added that in as a part of the script or anything like that.
Julia says class act, Denzel and Tyler stepping up. And I even saw Puff T. Diddy came in and says, okay, Chris, we're going to settle this later on. We're going to get this together, whatever. Stephanie Martin said, I thought it was staged. However, it is still in poor taste. Yes.
So Brian, Doug says, Brian, we come from a place where confrontation is real. So if it had been Chris Rock, it would have been a fight.
Yeah, well, he's true. Doug was one. He was one of my best friends when growing up. Doug did not argue long. He was one of those dudes. Yeah, man, he said this or he did that. Hold my jacket. And then Doug is swinging right there. I've seen him. He said something to me one time and hold my jacket. And before, I was like, what happened? What? And Doug was already swinging.
So Doug, you didn't see a problem with there being a physical.
But he can't believe Chris didn't fight back. Chris was on the job, Doug. He was on the job. He was doing his thing. He was getting paid to do a service. And that's why Chris is getting praised today, because he maintained his professionalism, even though Will Smith lost his.
Yeah. Stephanie says, I thought it was staged. However, it is still in poor taste.
Mm-hmm.
I thought if it was staged, it is thoroughly in poor taste.
Yes,
if it was staged, it is thoroughly in
even more poor taste if it was staged.
Absolutely. But I only thought it was staged for a brief moment, and actually was out. I did think it was staged. I thought it was staged. By the point that Will had gotten back to his seat, I was already in my mind thinking, this ain't real. when Will got back to his seat. No security came out.
Nope.
At all. No security.
Not even after the swing. That's true.
He just walked back to his seat and sat down.
And then got an award a little while later. He got an Oscar.
Yeah.
And then he said, hey, I apologize to the Academy and to the public.
He never apologized to Chris.
He probably never will apologize to Chris.
Well, I don't think that's right either. Craig said if Chris would have swung back and fought, then it would have looked bad for the Black community.
Yeah.
Chris did the right thing.
I think
but
he did.
If you look, Chris was ready to swing, but then let his fist go. Okay.
Well, I don't know if Chris was ready to swing or not, but also another thing too. There's another factor. We talked about it this morning. Will Smith is twice Chris Rock's size. Okay?
Yes.
I mean, he's much bigger. If Lisa said this to me today, if 50 Cent had made that joke, what would Will Smith have done?
He'd have sat down. He'd have sat what they called all the way down. Doug said, but on the other hand, I would not have reacted like Will Smith. I lost a little respect for him. Only a little respect for him. A lot of people did. I lost a lot of respect for him, but I didn't have a whole lot of respect for him left anyway. Stephanie Morris says, lens to how the world views us. Uncontrollable, angry, ignorant. I could go on. Yeah, that was probably like the fourth thought for me, fourth or fifth thought. You got it. Mm-hmm. Yikes! Ugh! He killing flies over here. Yeah, my hero.
How dare that fly interrupt our show?
Oh my goodness. So about my fourth thought was that, you know what? Here we go. We finally get to the Oscars. And we got to act out in public. If my grandmother was here, she would be saying, that's why you can't take Black people nowhere.
That's right.
I was so upset about that display for that reason alone.
Keep my wife's name out your effing mouth. What? Say it again, Will.
And he did say it again.
He said it twice. Mr. William Brown, save us, Bill. Bring some sanity here, Bill.
I don't know. It's only 6 a.m. for Bill, 6:20 a.m. Yeah. He may not have heard if he didn't watch
Maybe he didn't hear
Oscars last night. He might not have seen the scuttlebutt from the Oscars. So today's topic of the morning is how would you handle yourself in public? But there was no way that we could not address the impetus for this subject, which was the public display of retaliation that Will Smith took on Chris Rock for what he considered a joke in poor taste towards his wife.
Yeah, if you're an adult, if you've worked anywhere, likely you've been in a situation where you had to decide, how am I going to handle this? I'm feeling disrespected right now, so how am I going to handle this? Okay, are you going to go up there and smack your whomever, your coworker for saying that? Oh, you wearing white stockings after Labor Day? Ooh. So do you get to go smack your coworker who says that? Or do you handle it? Look, girl, don't talk about me or my stockings, especially not around other people.
Stephanie agrees. She said, yes, grandma would have had the extension cord ready later for the switch. Hey, man, you better know when it's the extension cord, it's real.
There's levels to this.
There's levels to this ish, because we had the extension cord and then we had the cord off of the iron. We actually had an iron block that you take the cord out. Mm-hmm. That was the third degree.
Uncle Johnny had his leather strap. He called it a leather strap. It was like 3 foot long, about 10 inches wide, leather strap. And he kept it on a nail in the kitchen.
So Julie Ray, and that slap was so hard, it knocked Will Smith back on his left foot. Watch the video for that. Will isn't a small man.
That's right.
His own slap nearly knocked him backwards. I think it's because, like Brian said, it didn't connect the way that he would. So the connection would have impacted the way that the slap impacted his body. But I think definitely true. Dr. Deborah says, to be honest, I don't even think that he was that angry about the joke. I believe he was saving face with Jada about something else. That's absolutely true.
Because he laughed at
the joke.
His first impulse was to laugh.
Until he saw this. And then he thought to himself, I better do something if I want to go home with this.
Craig says, if it's real, I don't lose respect for neither. Chris is a comedian and Will defended his wife when he thought he had to. They both did their jobs. I don't think so.
You think that defending your wife against
like that
a comedian's words, whether if they're an off-color joke or whatever, is him doing his job as a husband.
Lisa and I have been to 100 comedy shows, and we sat up front 100 times, and we both have been roasted by comedians at comedy clubs. Okay, they were at the freaking Oscars. Not a comedy club. They were at the Oscars. The world is watching. This is the most watched event of the year.
There's no liquor at the Oscars. They ain't had no drink in them. That was as clear as it can get.
Chris Rock was wearing a tuxedo
and a bow tie.
He ain't ready to scrap. He's not there for that.
No.
Nobody thought that would happen.
Stephanie said, honestly, the slap didn't look real to me. It didn't look real.
He didn't connect fully. Only Will Smith's, because he came as a jet, kind of like a straight punch. He came back a little bit and he tried to do it fast, but he didn't ball his fist. He didn't do none of that. He wanted to smack him. And that's more disrespectful anyway. But really, when they super slow-mo the videos of it, only Will Smith's fingers caught Chris. His fingers came right here.
And it's not whether or not the slap looked real to me. The response to it did seem real to me. But where it looked further contrived was when Will got back to his seat and he leaned back and said, "Keep my wife's name out your effing mouth." Now, the first time he closed his mouth and his mouth shivered as if he was trying to hold back a laugh. To me,
that could have been adrenaline.
Well, it could have been. That's what I'm saying. To me, it could have been. The second time he said it, he had it together as if he had fell into his role. Stephanie says, however, they were at the Oscars in all caps. You needed to be on your best behavior, best in capitals. Comedians' jokes should be tasteful for this type event. And I don't agree with that because maybe because it's the Oscars. I don't know. It's a little bit more tasteful.
Every award show.
But every award show has
Chris
some
Rock hosted the rosters in 2016. Oscars in 2016, he went around the audience, roasted everybody he saw.
And when he roasted Jada at the 2016 for boycotting the awards, he was direct with his disrespect to her. He directly said, Jada boycotting the Oscars is like me boycotting Rihanna's panties.
Yeah.
I wasn't invited.
Exactly.
You cannot boycott something that you ain't invited to.
That came up this morning, and that's a funny joke to me still, okay?
And that was 6 years ago.
Yeah. Julie Ray says, you see your loved one's pain in a room full of laughing people, even laughing himself. That is some emotion boiling up real hard, real fast. And I bet he sat there just replaying those few seconds in his head over and over. I'll be listening for their words as this all plays out. So will I.
I think that definitely plays has some impact in how you interpret his response. Definitely.
Now,
as you seeing him respond to his wife's, it didn't look like pain to me. It looked like disregard.
Okay.
Like here
so
you
put
go
myself in that
BS
situation.
Joke.
Soberly, I'll step to him later. Okay, I would have sat there in my seat. But if it was actually us, Lisa and I, and someone had joked Lisa's haircut, okay, and I looked over and I saw hurt on my wife's face.
She didn't have hurt on her face.
Okay.
She had Baltimore BS on her face. She had, here we go. He couldn't come up with something better. But it could be interpreted as anything you want because she didn't use words.
And Stephanie also is right. And the profanity. He screamed profane words twice in public. That is not a grown-up move. That's not a professional move. He's going to lose respect.
I think he lost respect with the entanglement. But Ms. Phyllis says, I haven't lost respect. I just didn't like it. And yes, he should defend Jada. But I also think it depends on where you at in life, what happens before him and Jada got there. And it could have been a lot of things. It absolutely could have been a lot of
things.
Jada
was joked all night about her due. Craig also says, like I said, all the jokes, all the memes after a while, all the comments, he just couldn't take it no more, whatever. And Chris got on her before at the Oscars. A man can only take so much, and then he pops. Last night, Will popped. Whatever.
They wasn't at the awards the last time he made those comments.
That's right. They
were boycotting it. So if they caught it on the replay. And like I said, this time Chris' joke was only disrespectful if he knew that she had alopecia.
But he
and
didn't say
I
that.
don't think that he knew. And he never made any regard to alopecia. He never made any negative comment towards it. I think it became one of those, ooh, like too soon, because other people who had been possibly watching the Red Table Talk had seen on YouTube some Instagram comments that she was dealing with it. Brian didn't know anything about her alopecia.
That's right. And I'm a regular guy, so maybe Chris didn't. Julie Ray says, yes, disregard, really. We going there, Chris. That's right. Stephanie Mars says, yep, I would have stepped to Chris in the alley after. Somewhere, they both are professionals. He's going to bump into him again.
And honestly, even if it were afterwards and they had that moment, because there was a very brief moment that Chris realized that the audience did not like that joke, he may have, after the fact, when approached by Will Smith, if this had happened this way, he could have quite possibly offered an apology even before being fully approached, because somebody would have had the opportunity to explain to him the off-coloredness of his joke.
Oh,
but
Lord.
None of this was able to happen.
I almost wish that had been Dave Chappelle that made that joke and Will Smith stepped to Dave Chappelle. Oh, I almost wish that would have been lovely. Dave Chappelle's been working out. He's Diesel right now.
Yeah, but Dave Chappelle is still not a fighter.
Well, he's not a fighter, but he's a grown man. That's the other thing, too. You don't even have to be a fighter to be a grown man. You're going to defend yourself, right?
I think Chris defended his position that he was in the room for, that he defended himself by simply standing there and going on with the show.
I think Chris gained some respect.
He did for me.
For me too.
Because I don't never like Chris. I ain't never like him.
I always like Chris. He's one of my top 5 favorite comedians.
But I'll tell you one thing, I'm watching for his future comedy because he is going to be crazy.
Why you say that, baby?
Set of sets. Look at the material he got.
I say
he just got handed a brand new set of material.
Will Smith, you just made Chris Rock another $1 million.
Absolutely.
Because he's going to tell this story and make $1 million off of this story.
Whether or not there's a lawsuit, I don't know. Bill says, I seen it. I believe Will has been walking a line of who he is and how he wants to be seen by others. He forgot where he was and responded with the wrong label.
What label do you believe he used? Because he never had that label as an adult that I know of.
No.
Jacqueline says, did not see the situation. However, how old are these people? They're over 50.
Both of them 50.
And Chris Rock.
Yes.
There is a time and a place for everything. Amen. Staged or not, there is truly something else going on behind all of this mess. I wonder who needs the attention, Chris, Will, or the Oscars? Inquiring minds want to know. Very good question.
Very good question and some great points, because I think that both Chris and Will could use some of this attention.
Ms. Phil says, well, I know him. He's cousins with my BBF. I guess she's talking about Chris Rock, because Chris Rock at least did live in Brooklyn. He lives in New Jersey now, Alpine, New Jersey.
Yeah, I don't know which one of them.
Stephanie Mars says,
I know they will be the talk of the week. Money, 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 money.
Yep.
Dollar sign, dollar sign, dollar sign. In my opinion, I bet Will won't be in a room by himself with Chris. LOL. Yeah, that's right. Because you don't let the smooth taste fool you.
But still, he's twice Chris Rock's size.
Yeah, I know. You don't need height.
That's true.
You don't need
taller
size.
And heavier. But if I'm pissed at you, I'm coming at you.
Let me tell you something, and I'm not proud of this, but it is a response mechanism for me, because I am a small person, that when I feel crowded by a tall person in a confrontation or a large person in a confrontation, you better be careful. Well, because I'm not going to wait for you to hit me first.
Yeah, smaller people, they can't afford that.
Nope.
And they can't afford to not hit you hard. Okay.
Nope.
If you corner,
and they can't afford to just hit you with their hand neither. Be careful. If it's a chair, I used to keep a frozen bag of chicken legs in my freezer, because it came with a handle from the butcher. And if there was ever an opportunity where I had to defend myself, I would go to my bag of chicken.
Oh, you're right, Craig. This is going to be in a movie in the future. There's going to be 1,000 memes about the smack. You know, It's gonna be 1,000 memes about what Will Smith did.
It's gonna be, yes.
I can't wait to see them all. I'm gonna laugh at everyone.
Label, I'm mad as hell and I'm not gonna take it anymore. Famous line from an old movie.
Yeah, I know the movie you're talking about too. I'm mad as hell and we're not gonna take it anymore.
That may be it. You know, quite honestly, it could have been just public humiliation.
Mm-hmm. But he's gotten a lot of that. He's been talked about for his whole career. His ears, how corny he is, how he's not hood enough. Okay, and his rap, his whole career he's been talked about. His wife's been talked about before, a lot. They are grown. They are not 6 years old. It's not the schoolyard. You over 50, and you at the Oscars wearing tuxedos.
54 act to like be exact. Yes, yes. Oh, I got your card already. I got your card.
Let's do it now.
He said, Lisa, if we don't get a card today, I'm going to smack Will.
Let's do Craig's card now, because in 6 minutes, we're going to debut a new song. We're going to do all our greeting songs. So go ahead.
So today's card is truth.
Truth. Oh, gosh.
Truth. Personal truth can be complex until you find the depth of universal truth. Then it's simple, not always easy, yet unerring in cost. Keep digging. Beauty points the way.
Truth.
Truth.
Personal truth can be complex, but real truth is simple.
Personal truth can be complex
until you find the
universal truth. Of universal truth.
Then it's that's what resonates to me, because that makes sense to me a lot. If you can't understand it,
it's not always easy, yet unerring in cost. Keep digging
for the real truth.
Beauty points the way.
Julie Ray Hamilton, funniest meme I saw. Everybody hates Chris.
That's horrible. That's horrible.
I'm gonna be there for all of it.
That's horrible.
Oh, that's it. But in public, has anyone ever dissed you at the job?
Have you ever been in a situation where you wish that you had responded differently?
2 times for me. One time I didn't punch the dude in the face, and I wish I had. Okay. Let's go with Mark Greer first. Mark Greer says, Will Smith knew who to slap. Yeah, exactly.
I know that's right.
If it had been anybody else. Chris Rock posed no threat physically. With that said, Chris Rock does what he does. He cracked a joke.
Absolutely.
It may or may not have been funny. If you pray for the rain, you have to accept the mud too.
Exactly.
If you choose to put your personal life out there and live in the public eye, you open yourself up. My problem is he apologized to everyone but Chris Rock. I commend Chris Rock for going on with the show.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And I have to say that is absolutely true, but I still do not believe that Chris Rock knew about Jada's alopecia.
Okay. Julie Ray said, I can't help but wonder what Maya would say. Yes. William Brown.
Hey fam. Would love traveling mercies. Headed to upstate New York for a few days. Oh, you coming to the East Coast?
He gets around.
I get around.
He gets around. And I was thinking about Tupac's. I get around with I'm down with the underground crowd because I get around. That's right. But you go it your way. That anyway, 9:37, 4 minutes. We're gonna do the greeting songs. Miss Phyllis?
Miss Phyllis says, yes, I'm with you, Brian. There's times I wanted to hit someone for saying the wrong thing.
And I did it, but I will say this, Miss Phyllis.
You did hit them?
I didn't.
Oh, you didn't?
I didn't. I let it get away.
Did you resent it?
I resented it forever.
Forever?
Forever.
Ever?
I was probably 29, 28 when I got dissed in public.
But there's a whole lot of difference between being dissed at 29 than being 30 than being dissed at 50.
That's true.
It's just like, you know how silly it looks back when the grandfathers used to fight?
Yeah, it does look silly. I had a mobile detailing company, auto detailing company. It's called the Auto Dry Cleaners out of Raleigh. And I had a client I was doing very expensive cars. I was making really great money too. And the client says, look, my car is at the Toyota dealership being serviced. It's out back. Can you go there and detail it? So by the time I pick up my car, the mechanical work would have been done and the detail would have been done. I said, no problem. I went to the back of the Toyota dealership. I found the car and I did the whole detail right there. And then after I'm done with the whole thing. One of the managers from the place comes out there. Who do you think you are coming out here on my lot and doing this on my lot? And I thought, I don't work for you. My client paid me to do this, okay? The car was here. I'm not on anything. And I hit his lot right there. Don't you ever come on my lot. And I didn't punch him in the face, okay?
Good. You didn't need to punch him in the face.
I surely should have. He was yelling at me in public. Like I'm his kid. I don't work for Toyota. I work for myself. But I regretted that moment to this day that I didn't step to him.
Bill is going to be doing a little manifesting in New York. I love it.
I love it. I want to know more of it. Okay. Miss Phyllis, what's that? I don't know what those
are. Too far from me.
Oh, they're praying hands. Yes. For Bill's traveling mercies. He asked for them and she gave them immediately.
Absolutely.
So you don't think I should have hit him?
No. I don't think you should have hit him. And again, Jacqueline says, Lisa, I went to mail your cheetah card Saturday and the post office was closed early. I will mail Friday. So excited. I'm excited too. Yeah.
Actually, I saw a cheetah car, a whole car with cheetah print on it. And I sent a picture to Lisa and I was like, is that too much?
I didn't know that was a cheetah car. I thought that was a rhinestone car because it was not too much for me.
It was cheetah.
I thought the whole thing was cheetah. Bling the whole entire car and I was there for it.
It was cheetah print. Yep.
Oh, well, it was good. That's even more better.
You're out, drive a car daily. The whole car is cheetah print.
Yeah.
A daily driver.
Absolutely.
You know what? Actually, I think that makes sense because why do cars have to be a solid color? Why? Why not just jazz them up?
Why can't they? I mean, it's just like putting a cling on anything. Mm-hmm. Phyllis said, "No, you should have hit him.
I shouldn't have or should have hit him. You were on their property. I was on their property, yes, but I don't work for them. I didn't even know the guy. Okay, but he came out there to yell at me. I've regretted that forever. All right, so one of the things we do here in this show, Lisa and I had an opportunity to hang out with some amazing friends this past Saturday. We didn't even get a chance to talk about it. We had a great weekend. I'm going to have to talk about it tomorrow. Lisa gave a talk on Saturday. Wow. I'm going to talk about it tomorrow. Lisa got a chance to speak on Saturday. And on Saturday night, we hung out with some amazing friends. But one of the cool things about hanging out with some people is I got a chance to tell the story about you guys. I got a chance to talk about our audience and about how some of you guys have been rocking with us for years and how some of you guys are consistent contributors and the way we thank you guys with greeting songs and greeting logos. So let's take it from the top.
Absolutely. Julie says, I'm going to New York for the first time in May. Any recommendations of a must-do?
Way too long.
Cousins Dozens.
Oh, yes. Donuts. Cousins Dozens Donuts. Do that. Definitely.
Definitely do
Miss
that.
Phyllis has earned a logo over the years. Her logo is Miss Phyllis is here. So clear the way. Miss Phyllis is here. Now we can all have a great day. Melissa Price popped on and then she left.
Yes. Dr. Deborah is here. Dr. Deborah, nonprofit strategist and funding coach. Mm-hmm. I did get the opportunity to see Dr. Deborah,
which is always nice,
on this weekend. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. Melissa was on, but we're going to sing her song.
Yes.
I don't know if she had
Dr. Deborah was there. So tomorrow when I talk about Lisa's talk, since Dr. Deborah was there, Dr. Deborah, you can have my back about how Lisa's talk was.
We do have a guest tomorrow for Tech Tuesday. We have a guest, Miss Julie Tremblay is going to be coming on.
Y'all going to meet her. Y'all going to love Julie Tremblay. But anyway, bam, 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 bam. Melissa's home. Now it's time for us to sing her song. Melissa's home. Good morning, Miss Melissa Price. Craig Sabb is here as well. Craig Sabb, 1,000 degrees.
You'll be on your knees and you'll be burning, begging, please.
Brother, please. Trively, and we're starting to see your face often enough. Maybe you can get you a jam, Trively. Just give us a recommendation. Stephanie Morris has a jam as well.
Stephanie, life has new meaning to me.
There is beauty up above and things we never take notice of. You wake up and Stephanie, you're in love.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Did we do Julie?
No.
Julie Ray Hammondtree, find out what she means to me. Julie Ray Hammondtree,
find out what she means to me.
Let's keep it going. Craig said we did him. Doug, debuting a new jam. I hope Doug is still here. And if Doug is still here, tell me if you like it, Doug. And you guys tell me if you like it too. Brand new debut of Doug Utzi's new jam. Inspired by Al Green.
Okay.
Doug, we're so in love with you. Whatever you want to do is all right with me. That's it.
That's it. I love it. Doug, we're so in love with you. Whatever you want to do is all right with we.
Doug, let us know if you like that. And how do you guys feel about Doug's new jam? Does anybody like it? Jacqueline Rosier has, according to Jacqueline, and
Jacqueline Rosier, pretty little girl that I adore. You're the only one my heart beats for. I'm so glad that you are mine.
Miss Phyllis says, Julie Ray Hamilton, call her when you get to New York because she's gonna hook you up.
Absolutely.
Doug says, y'all killed that, and I like it. Doug liked it. So Doug liked it. That was great. Dr. Deborah Dunstan liked it too.
I like it. I liked it. Definitely.
Found his jam. He gave us a genre and a person. He says Al Green was his favorite. So I looked at some Al Green. I listened to some Al Green, and it came to me. William Brown has a jam as well.
Yes.
Good morning to our friend Bill. Nobody thinks like him still. We love him so, and we always will. Our friend Bill. That's our friend Bill.
Traveling mercies to Bill on his journey mercies.
I saw Mark Greer in here too.
You did. That's right.
We read his thing, Mark Greer. There it is. So wide you can't get around it.
So low you can't get under it.
So high you can't get over it. Mark Greer is under a groove. He's getting down just for the funk of it. Mark Greer is under a groove. Nothing can stop us now.
Oh, nothing can stop us now. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think we got everybody.
That's good. Doug.
I actually like that song. I'm glad that we made it through the songs today. How would you conduct yourself in public? That's something to be mindful of. And does it depend on where you are, what age and stage you are in your life, what character you want to represent, or who you're defending? All of those things.
You know, lions do not waste their time explaining themselves, okay? Because they're lions. Kings and queens do not have to explain themselves to peasants. Chris Rock did this wonderful bit about poor people can say anything they want about rich people. You rich, blankety blank, blank, you know, because they're rich. But rich people can't say anything about poor people because that's just mean. Skinny people could talk all about, fat people could talk all about skinny people all they want to, but skinny people can't make jokes about fat people because that's just mean, right? You know, it goes that way, back and forth. But Will, you up here, man.
You are.
We're
And it's not just from this incident that you came down. I personally believe.
He should have a high this year. His book is awesome. And the audio book apparently is better than the written book. And that never happens. Because people have been singing about the audio book saying it's such a great listen. And he should be on a high. And he's been tripping.
I don't have a pedestal for Will Smith. But, you know, I think that no one is above reproach. Mm-hmm. Personally, I think how he handled it was in poor taste. I think that there are people who are defending him, who are saying he just defended his wife. I think he defended his face. He was trying to defend his face because. You
think it was a selfish act?
Yeah, his wife was already he had already chimed in on the joke he was complicit on the joke with his laughter.
Yes, he laughed. For his first natural response was to laugh at it. He did laugh.
So when you laugh, you are down with it. And his response was to get out of jail free with his wife, if anything, or with the community at large.
He could have said something to her. Baby, I'll see him about this. He's not going to get away with this. I'm going to talk to him.
Any of it. So Miss Phyllis says, not if you've never been fat, poor, or skinny. Good morning, Brenda. Brenda Booker Bull. It's tricky to rock a home.
Yeah, let's do it.
Go ahead.
It's tricky to buy a home or sell a home. Don't do it alone. Choose Brenda.
Hey, choose Brenda. Brenda. It's tricky to buy a home, to sell a home. Don't do it alone. Choose Brenda. Hey, choose Brenda. Brenda
Booker Bull. How would you have handled that situation if you haven't heard? Chris Rock made a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith's haircut. He says, hey, G.I. Jane 2. Can't wait to see it.
That's it.
Will Smith laughed, and then he went up on the stage and smacked Chris Rock in the face. And then he went back to his chair and yelled, keep my wife's name out your effing mouth. And now they both are memes. Okay. I think Will Smith was in the wrong. I think Will Smith should have stayed in his chair. Okay. And talked to Chris later. What say you, Dr. Deborah? We're going to get out of here in 2 minutes.
I think that it should have just, honestly, it happened. It is hilarious now, but I think that there are so many other ways that it could have been handled.
Yeah, like sit your butt down.
And there are so many excuses, so many explanations for both sides. Honestly, the biggest explanation for Chris's side was simply that he didn't know. He didn't know. She had a haircut. Whatever.
And then why is Will Smith mad? You're not exempt. You're not exempt. They joke everybody. Everybody gets joked.
I wonder what's going to change about the awards climate.
Because something's going to change.
Yeah.
Instead of having it live, they're going to film it now.
Or you're not going to be able to make jokes about the audience. You're not going to be able to make jokes.
How soft are we today?
It is a participation awards world.
Oh, my God.
So we're going to come.
You get a trophy just because you was on the team. You didn't win nothing. But here's your trophy. Soft.
Participation award world. It's interesting.
You can't joke about anybody now because they might come out of the crowd and
they might get sad. They're going to
overreact. You're right. They're going to overreact and change rules.
Ms. Willis, I don't know what that says. B7.
But are we making excuses for them? I don't know if we're making excuses for them or not.
I think we are we're making observations, obviously. Doug said, I think from here on, Oscar security will get a lot tighter. I definitely think that's the case.
You wouldn't think they would need to at first. Okay?
No, I think they need security. Those are people. What
do you think it had to go through to get inside the building? Okay.
It doesn't matter.
There was nobody packing in there. You don't think they had to go through scanners and all that stuff?
Yeah, I'm sure they did. Ain't none of them had no mask on. But
that's true. So everybody in there had vaccines and boosters?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's still plenty more to discuss on the topic. It's probably going to be the talk of the town all week. We're not going to talk about it all week.
We're not going to talk about it more.
Well, we don't know what might be uncovered for tomorrow.
Oh, my God. Chris Rock might have went and found them.
You don't know. Or maybe Chris Rock's wife went and turned it out. I don't know. You don't know what might happen.
People do people things.
Exactly.
It can happen anytime and anywhere.
Exactly. That was my thought, Bill.
People do people things. Yeah.
Anywhere.
All right. We're going to call this our day. Thank you guys for joining us.
Make today count. Mindfulness Monday. Find your truth and follow it. Don't forget to have sex.
Peace.